We are looking at the 5-year Australian visa that allows you to immigrate to Australia on a 5-year visa without having to need a job offer. That's what we're going to be looking at, how to make your application. So basically, as I've already said, it's a 5-year visa, and it is a visa that allows you to stay in Australia for 5 years. You can live, work, and study in Australia, and you can travel to and from Australia as many times as you want. While the visa is valid, you can apply for permanent residence after 3 years from the time your visa is granted, and it's going to take you for 25% of applications 5 months to process. 50% of applications is going to take 12 months, and 75% of the applications is going to take 15 months. So in terms of what you need to do, you're going to have to go through some processes. So in terms of eligibility, there is a list of applications, of occupations, about 500 of them. So your occupation needs to fall under any one of those, and I will leave a link in the description box at the bottom of this video where you can check if your occupation falls among them. And then if you confirm that your application falls among them, of course, you have to be at least 45 years of age to be invited to apply for this visa. So this visa is almost like express entry of Canada, but you're gonna need to first be at least 45 years of age, and then you're gonna need to have your occupation in one of the occupations that are listed. And then the next thing you're going to have to do is to do a suitable skills assessment. So for your application to be valid, you must declare that you have a suitable skills assessment at time of invitation. So what this basically means is that when you're going to check your occupation, they're going to have a column where they will show you that, okay, I am coming in as an accountant, then I have to have my credentials checked by the Certified Public Accountancy of Australia and New Zealand, for example, and there's a whole process of how you go about it. If let's say you're a dentist, there's a body that is going to assess your qualifications. If let's say you're a nurse, there's a body that does that. So you have to make sure if your application is one of those in the list, and then you submit your documents. If you graduated from an institution outside of Australia, you submit your documents to be assessed. Once they are assessed, and then you come back here and you submit your expression of interest through the skill select. It is a platform right here. I will leave the link for that as well, so that you will let the Home Affairs know that you want to apply for the visa. So make sure you have all your documents with you, including the assessment, and then you submit your expression of interest. So once you submit your expression of interest, you will need to make sure you provide all the documents to support the claims that you make in your expression of interest. Ensure that you meet the other visa criteria. So what will happen once your expression of interest has been received at the Home Affairs, then you can choose, for example, do you want to be sponsored by the state or any of the territory agencies? Or do you, if you have a relative or you have somebody who can vouch for you in Australia, then you can have your application supported by a family. So you can go either the route of family sponsorship. If you don't have family, that's fine. Then you can go the route of being sponsored by the state agency or territory agency. So when you're submitting expression of interest, there's a section where they will ask you, how do you want to be sponsored for this visa? Do you want family, go through your family route, or do you want to go through the state where the state will nominate you? Just like what happens in Canada, we have the provincial nomination. So here they have territorial or state agency nominations. So once you are nominated, so first of all, when you submit your documents, there's gonna be some checks they will do to you, like they will compare like your age and blah blah blah, different what do we call them, different factors you're going to be checked against. So for example, what is your English level like? What is your age? So if you're like between the age of 25 and 34, you get more points. If you are closer to the age of 45, you get less points. If you have a master's degree or a PhD, you get more points. So there's a whole lot of calculations they do, and then they give you a score. So you must score at least 65 points. The total score you can get is 100. So if you get like 65 points, you're doing really well. And then you can also submit your application together with that. So once it is assessed and they know, either if you're going to get sponsorship by family or by the state, then they will approve your visa through expression of interest. If they approve your visa, then now you need to apply. You have 60 days from the date of your invitation to apply for the visa. So when they check that, okay, this person meets all the our qualifications, they have the 65 points, they are at least 45, they are at most 45 years of age, not more than 45 years of age, they have the documents, they've all been assessed and everything else, then they will invite you to apply for the visa. So you have 60 days from the date of your invitation to apply for the visa. So this is exactly like express entry. And then once you have applied, they will, Home Affairs will let you know when they have received your application. And if you're granted a bridging visa, you'll receive notification of your visa grant. So you can be in or outside Australia when they decide your visa application, but not in immigration clearance. So they will let you know of their decision in writing. If they give you the visa, they will give you a visa grant number and the date your visa starts. They don't stamp anything on your passport. You'll need to keep a copy of the decision though. If they refuse your visa, they will tell you why your visa was refused and whether or not you have a right to a review of the decision. So guys, I would encourage you, if you are below the age of 45, and also you can do the calculations. I will leave a link also there. It's almost like the CRS points for Canada. You can go and check how many points you get. Make sure you need to have at least 65 points. They're going to check based on your qualifications, years of work experience, your age, your English language skill, which you self-assess and all that. So that's what they're going to use to calculate the points. If you meet the 65, this is something you can do for yourself. If you have at least 65 points and you have the age and you've done your skills assessment, then you can submit your expression of interest and then hopefully they select you. So guys, that's in a nutshell how you apply for this skilled work regional provincial visa, visa 491 that allows you to move to Australia on a 5-year visa. You can work, and in 3 years you get your permanent residence. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section below. I'll be happy to answer them. I'll see you on the next one. Bye guys.